television network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Aja Goare. Our top story this half hour: President Trump is using the final day of his visit to the United Nations to deal with nuclear proliferation in North Korea and Iran. CBS's Mola Lengi has the details.
Are you going to place more sanctions on North Korea?
President Trump is expected to announce details of new sanctions against North Korea after meeting with the leaders of South Korea and Japan. At the UN General Assembly this morning, South Korean President Moon Jae-in stared right at the North Korean ambassador and urged him to give up their nuclear program.
If North Korea makes decisions even now to stand on the right side of history, we are ready to assist North Korea together with the international community.
North Korea continues to carry out nuclear tests and ballistic missile launches, despite tighter UN sanctions, which are designed to cut off more than 90% of North Korea's foreign trade. CBS News has also learned that President Trump is leaning toward decertifying the Iran nuclear deal.
I have to say,
President Trump says his mind is made up about whether he wants to keep the U.S. in the Iran nuclear deal, but he's not saying anything yet.
President Trump made his view of the Iran deal very clear before the United Nations General Assembly this week. He considers it nothing short of an embarrassment.
Vice President Mike Pence told CBS this morning that Iran is technically living up to the terms of the deal, but continues to take actions which destabilize the entire region.
There's technical compliance, Charlie, and then there's the spirit of the agreement.
President Trump may be using the decertifying threat as a means to reopen negotiations, but Iran says the U.S. is looking for a way to break the deal, and they will not return to the negotiating table. Mola Lengi, CBS News, the White House.
France and the United Kingdom are proposing a new round of talks meant to address what happens when the nuclear deal expires in 10 years, but it's not clear whether Iran would agree to those talks. Republican senators are pushing forward with their latest plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. The proposed legislation would give the power to the states instead of the federal government. MTN's Kent Lutzen reports on what Senator Jon Tester and the Montana Hospital Association think about this new bill.
The truth is McConnell has already said, who is the leader of the Senate, there's going to be a vote next week. And I can tell you there is being a lot of pressure being applied to senators to try to get them to vote for this bill, even though it may be the worst.
I've never felt better about
the worst of the four bills we've looked at now, far worse than the previous three.
Tester said this bill would kick people off of their health plan, raise rates, threaten coverage for people with a pre-existing condition, and strain the Montana Veteran Affairs. President of the Montana Hospital Association, Dick Brown, agrees with Tester, adding that this bill would jeopardize many lives that are covered today.
First of all, there is no requirement on the states, if the money comes in the block fund, there's no requirement for them to put it in coverage. So with a lot of state budgets like Montana's worrying about other areas, there may be money distributed in directions that would not support what we're trying to accomplish here with coverage.
Another major concern for Senator Tester is the caps and cuts of federal funding for Medicaid, a move he says threatens rural hospitals, nursing homes, and care for disabled children.
If you're a great big hospital and you have volume, you might be able to survive this. But if you're not, if you're like a Cut Bank or a Roundup or a Big Sandy or a Chester, and the list goes on and on and on, you're not going to have that volume. And if that charity care goes up, it's going to put you at risk of closure.
Senator Tester admitted Obamacare has its problems, but believes this new proposed health care bill is not the answer either. Reporting in Missoula, Kent Lutzen, MTN News.
Thank you, Kent. And Tester added if the proposed bill is passed, it would change a 52-year-long relationship Medicaid has had with the states. If proposed cuts submitted by the Department of Health and Human Services are approved, Montana will become the only state in the country without early childhood intervention. Tax revenue deficits are forcing 10% cuts for all state agencies. ECI Director David Munson says the cost of special education for a single student is over $7,000 more than a student who doesn't require those services. Munson says ECI saves the state thousands of dollars by giving kids the help they need early on so they don't require special education services. But this program is now in jeopardy, and 125 families now and in the future may lose their essential services. This program is funded through a mix of state and federal funds through a joint effort, meaning the $2 million in federal funding is only available if the state continues to pay. The recommended cuts go to the governor's desk next week. The most recent Montana climate assessment shows Montana is warming up. Montana University Systems Institute on Ecosystems unveiled the report during a teleconference on Wednesday. According to the MCA, Montana has warmed up 3 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1950s. That's had a distinct impact, like drier soil for farmers during the summer months, lower water levels for agricultural use, and less snowpack at low to mid-level elevations. The MCA is working to produce certain crops for a warming climate for Montana. We turn now to the weather scene with Rob Griggs, and while we have that warmth going on there, we don't really see that today because it's rainy and cold outside.
Yeah, warm and dry will not be two factors we have to contend with probably for the next couple of days across Montana, Asia. As a matter of fact, right now, showing you what's happening across the state and region over the past several hours. A swath of water from extreme eastern Idaho all the way across the northwestern corner of Wyoming, up toward the northeastern corner of Montana into North Dakota. It's all part of a trough that's now moved in toward our region here, the Pacific Northwest. You can see forecast precipitation models show over the next couple of days plenty of moisture for central and southern Montana, northern Wyoming, and everybody's going to get a little bit. Snowfall should be concentrated for the most part in southwestern Montana, northwestern Wyoming. So we'll be talking about what that forecast looks like going into the weekend for the state and the region in just a little bit. Asia?
Thanks, Rob. We'll check back in. The town of Browning is in the process of being disbanded due to financial issues over an outstanding water lawsuit. According to Blackfeet Tribal Chairman Harry Barnes, the tribe will receive what is left of the town's assets. The tribe will also buy City Hall, and that money will go to pay the other plaintiffs in the lawsuit. The Blackfeet tribe has taken over the public services that the former town of Browning used to be responsible for. Barnes says the town can now begin to heal.
I appreciate the tribal council's efforts in resolving this thing and putting an end to a drawn-out case that really was harmful, I said, to the entire community, to where we can start healing, mending, and moving forward in a more positive way.
The tribe says the city of Browning will be officially disbanded in about 2 to 3 months. The Red Lodge police officer faced with losing her canine unit can now keep her partner just for now. Officer Mallory Cates was told she'd have to pay $2,000 to keep canine Drago as her pet or allow him to be sold to another department. Cates, who has worked with Drago for 2 years, would also have to take a $3 an hour pay cut and agree not to sue the city. But after the mayor decided the program didn't provide the return of investment desired, Cates looked to keep Drago as a pet. As the city attempted to take the Belgian Malinois, a Carbon County judge granted a temporary restraining order on Wednesday. That order allows Cates to keep her partner for now. The litigation, though, is ongoing. Several Montanans are now part of a class action lawsuit filed against Equifax for its huge data breach. A law firm in Bozeman filed the suit in U.S. District Court in Butte, representing all Montanans in this complaint. Equifax has information like people's birthdays and Social Security information. As many as 368,000 Montana residents, or nearly 1 out of 2 people in the state over the age of 18, are affected. Nationwide, more than 140 million people's IDs were stolen in the security breach. Equifax says it's taking steps to assist those affected, including free credit monitoring. Still ahead on the noon news, thousands of people in Puerto Rico are isolated after Hurricane Maria. More on the storm's aftermath when we come back. But first, Rob has our weather forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching